the builders of Puma Punku. At nearly 13,000 feet above sea level lies a ruin that shouldn't be possible. Stone blocks cut with millimeter precision, fitted tighter than modern machine work. To this day, no one knows how or why it was built. This is Puma Punku, part of the Tiwanaku complex in Bolivia. Here, at the roof of the world, massive andesite stones lie scattered like the wreckage of some forgotten machine. Each block weighs up to 100 tons, yet the cuts are laser straight. Interlocking joints, right angles, and drill holes, all carved into one of the hardest stones on Earth. What kind of knowledge carves granite like butter, yet leaves no tools behind? Conventional archaeology says the Tiwanaku people shaped these stones with stone hammers and patience, but even the most skilled modern engineers struggle to explain the precision of its H-shaped blocks, identical down to a fraction of an inch. Was Puma Punku a temple, or a factory of a forgotten age? Some believe it once stood as a power center, aligned with solstices and cosmic patterns. Others think it's a reconstruction of something older, rebuilt by those who no longer understood its purpose. How old must humanity be if this was already ancient when the Incas rose? Carbon dating of nearby soil suggests human activity long before the rise of known civilizations in the Andes. The site's destruction appears violent, stones hurled, not placed, as if a cataclysm tore it apart. Puma Punku defies the timeline of human ability. And if the Andes hold the ruins of precision, Indonesia may hold the ruins of a world. The forgotten kingdom of Sunda. Beneath the calm waters of Indonesia lies a continent swallowed by time, once a tropical paradise, now a graveyard of stone. Some genetic maps still trace humanity's roots back to this vanished land. This was Sundaland, a vast subcontinent stretching from modern Indonesia to Malaysia and beyond, thriving before the seas rose 12,000 years ago. When the last ice age ended, melting glaciers drowned entire worlds. But before it vanished, this place may have nurtured the first sparks of civilization. Was Sundaland humanity's first cradle of civilization? Marine surveys reveal terraces, walls, and pyramid-like shapes beneath the Java Sea. Structures that shouldn't exist in what's supposed to be prehistory DNA studies trace ancient migration patterns from this region toward India, Mesopotamia, even the Middle East, echoes of an origin long erased by water. How did flood myths appear across cultures at the exact time this land sank? The Sumerian flood, Noah's Ark, the Hindu pralaya, all speak of a deluge that wiped away the world. Perhaps they're not coincidence but memory, stories retold across millennia by the survivors of a drowned homeland. What happens to history when the ocean hides the evidence? Sonar images hint at geometric patterns on the seafloor. Some researchers believe we're looking not at myth, but at archaeology's missing first chapter, a civilization erased before civilization began. Sundaland may be the lost chapter that rewrites our origin story. And far away in Lebanon, a single stone challenges even modern engineering. The megaliths of Baalbek. A 1,000-ton stone, perfectly cut, lies half buried in silence. Even today, our cranes could barely lift it. Yet someone, long before Rome, set it in place with unthinkable precision. This is Baalbek in modern-day Lebanon, a site that defies explanation. The Romans built grand temples here, to Jupiter, to Bacchus, but beneath their work lies something older, something beyond their means. Who had the strength to move mountains before recorded history began? The stone of the pregnant woman, weighing over 1,000 tons, sits in the quarry nearby, cut, shaped, ready to move, but never transported. Below the Roman foundation lie even larger blocks, aligned with such precision that not a sheet of paper fits between them. No text records who first laid them, or why. Were the Romans builders or caretakers of a forgotten site? Archaeologists credit Roman ingenuity, yet the foundation stones differ in both style and scale, suggesting they inherited a base far older than their empire. Beneath layers of conquest, Baalbek whispers of a civilization already ancient when Rome was born. What story do these foundations tell that Rome tried to overwrite? Some researchers point to alignments with solstices and celestial markers, signs of an astronomical purpose. Others see Baalbek as a ritual center, rebuilt again and again, each era unable to match the skill of the one before. Baalbek is less a temple, more a monument to lost knowledge, and just beyond the Nile, the weathered face of a lion whispers of rain from an age before kings. The antediluvian Egyptians. The Sphinx wears scars of water on a desert that hasn't seen rain in 10,000 years. Mathematical constants, light-speed ratios, and stellar alignments built into stone. What if the pharaohs inherited, not constructed, the wonders of Egypt? At Giza, the Great Pyramid rises with a precision modern engineers still struggle to explain. Its base is level within fractions of an inch. Its sides align almost perfectly to true north, and its proportions encode constants, pi, phi, and even the ratio of the Earth's dimensions. Was the Great Pyramid a tomb or a machine of unknown purpose? No mummy was ever found inside the Great Pyramid. No inscriptions dedicated to a king. Only silence and stone, cut, placed, and aligned with the stars. Who taught early Egyptians geometry at cosmic scale? Weathering patterns on the Sphinx reveal deep vertical erosion, caused by rain, not sand or wind. That suggests the monument predates Egypt's Old Kingdom by thousands of years, perhaps reaching back to an age before the Sahara became desert. What secrets lie beneath the bedrock, sealed before recorded time? Seismic surveys hint at hidden chambers beneath the Sphinx, long sealed and unexplored. Legends call them the halls of records, repositories of a forgotten epoch. Mainstream archaeology denies their existence, but the ground still hums with questions. Egypt's monuments may not mark the dawn of civilization, but its twilight. And across the Aegean, another kingdom rose to brilliance, only to vanish in fire and ash. The Minoans and the fire of thalassocracy. Before Greece, before Rome, the Minoans ruled the seas. They built plumbing systems modern engineers still marvel at. And then, one day, they were gone, like smoke from a candle. On the island of Crete, the Minoans created Europe's first great civilization. Palaces rose with multi-storied halls, frescoes of dolphins, and murals that captured a world at peace with the sea. They traded with Egypt, with the Levant, perhaps even beyond the Pillars of Hercules. For 1,000 years their ships ruled the Aegean. Did nature end them, or did a rival civilization erase them from memory? Around 1600 BCE, the island of Thera, modern Santorini, erupted in one of the largest volcanic explosions in human history. Ash blotted out the sun. Tsunamis swept through Crete's northern coast. The Minoan fleets never returned. Why did their language, art, and maps vanish overnight? Their script, Linear A, remains undeciphered. No record explains their downfall. Only whispers remain, that survivors fled, carrying fragments of their knowledge into the civilizations that followed. Do all great civilizations eventually trigger their own extinction? Some researchers suggest their dominance invited envy, or their wealth drew war. Others see the Thera eruption not as their death, but as the spark that birthed the Greek myths of Atlantis. The Minoans remind us that brilliance doesn't guarantee survival, because every empire that rises believes it will never fall, and yet they all do. We are not the first to stand on the edge of greatness. Every age believes it is eternal, until the sea comes for it. Perhaps history isn't linear at all, but a spiral, turning endlessly back to the same point. From Göbekli Tepe to Giza, from Baalbek to the drowned plains of Sunda, one truth emerges again and again. Civilization rises, reaches for the heavens, and then disappears beneath its own weight. What if progress is simply the rediscovery of what we've lost before? The ancients built monuments that outlasted empires, machines that defied their supposed age, and myths that refused to die. And now, in our digital world, we build towers of data, temples of glass, and satellites that map the stars, just as they once did. Are we the apex of civilization, or just the next layer to be buried? We see ourselves as the inheritors of all that came before. But what if we are simply repeating the pattern? One more spark in a long cycle of forgetting and rediscovery? How much longer before our own ruins become someone else's mystery? If history has a memory, it may not speak. It may only wait. Wait for the next to rise, Wait for the next to fall. The pattern is clear. Rise, brilliance, collapse, forgetting. History doesn't repeat, it remembers. The question is, will we?